to the Gigalive. Your passions, your stories, your life, simplified with just one app. This is the future. The Gigalive in just one tap. Experience more Giga moments when you make the smart choice. With the Philippines' fastest mobile data network. How do I know it's T1? Simple, smart ako.
Beginnings and new beginnings. Ika nga pagsisimula at bagong paninimula para sa ating rising stars and stars rising. Yan po ang ating tema at pag-uusapan sa inyong paboritong kasama tuwing Sabado ng umaga. E di paano? Bango na! Power and play na! Magandang umaga po sa inyo lahat mga kapatid. Nagbabalik po ang inyong paboritong kasama tuwing Sabado ng umaga, ang Power and Play. Hatid sa inyo ng Cherry Loom, ang yerong may aluminum at Cherry Tigo 7 Pro, fun to drive. Well, isa pong maulan na umaga at alam naman natin meron pong bagyong nag-aabang si Bagyong Kiko, lalong-lalo na sa Hilagang Luzon. So again, we'd like to say ingat-ingat lang po dyan sa ating mga kababayan, lalong-lalo na sa Hilagang Luzon, naimbag na bigat sa ating mga suki sa Baguio City and of course sa San Esteban, Ilocos Sur. Magandang umaga din po sa lahat ng mga nakikinig sa atin sa Radyo 5 92.3 News and on 1PH on Signal TV and of course, good day and good morning, good evening worldwide sa Facebook Live. Marami po tayong pag-uusapan na naman ngayong araw na to. Of course, the world of sports has been crazy good these past few days with a couple of really good stories, good feel-good stories, shocking stories, particularly in the US Open where teenagers Emma Raducanu and Leila Fernandez, both multiracial heritages and of course teenagers ay ngayon umuukit ng kasaysayan para sa mundo ng tennis and of course starting a new era sa US Open. And talking about starting, yan po ang ating pag-uusapan ngayong araw na to as we talk about new beginnings, mga bagong simula sa mga dating kinikilala na natin mga bituin na ngayon ay lalo pang sumisikat. Juami Tiongson and Jai Reyes in two fields today and they're certainly making the most of their opportunities. Of course, andun din yung panimula, the beginnings of new stars in new sports. Sophia Frank, ang ating pambato na maaari pong pumasok sa Beijing Winter Games at si Bianca Bustamante, a race car driver at 16 years old. Pareho po sila. They will be with us today sa Power and Play to talk about their chances and of course, the new sport that we are not familiar with but certainly malaki po ang potential para sa ating bansa. At ating pong pag-uusapan lahat ng yan dito po sa Power and Play. Pero syempre, sa pagsisimula ng ating palatuntunan tuwing Sabado na umaga, ang ating buod na mga balita sa ating Sports Weekly Highlights. Martes, nilabas na ang mga Philippine squad na lalaban sa 2021 AVC Asian Women's Club Volleyball Championship sa Thailand sa susunod na buwan. Dalawa ang women's squad, ang Rebisco team na kinabibilangan ng dati ng national team captain na si Abby Maranyo. Ibabandera naman ni Kalay Mao, MJ Phillips at Kat Tolentino ang team Choco Mucho. Kapansin-pansin naman ang hindi pagkakasama ng top hitter na si Eliza Valdez at setter na si Gia Morado. Sa men's team, 10 ang miyembro ng silver medal winning squad noong 2019 Southeast Asian Games. Miyerkules naman, nagsimula ang bubble training ng Gilas Women's sa Batangas para sa FIBA Women's Asia Cup. 8 sa national team pool ay mga gold medalists sa 2019 SEA Games kasama sina April Bernardino at Janine Pontejos. Yun nga lang, mamimiss ng team ang serbisyo ni Jack Daniel Animam na kasalukuyang nasa Serbia. Bigati ng mga makakalaban ng Gilas Women's Division A. Ito po ang Australia, China at Chinese Taipei. Huwebes naman, kinumpirma ni Northport head coach Pido Horencio na nagpositibo siya sa COVID-19. Kasalukuyang naka-quarantine si Coach Pido at 6 pang coaches ng Batang Pierre. Bumbuti naman daw ang kalagayan niya at nananawagan pa nga na magpabakuna kontra sa virus para hindi maging matindi ang epekto kung tamaan man ng sakit. Humahalili kay Horencio si team manager Bonnie Tan at blowout 98-73 win agad ang debut ng Northport sa Pampanga kontra Blackwater. Get well soon, Coach Pido. Iniintay ko na ikaw dito. Huwebes din, inanunsyo ng Olympic Council of Asia na magiging opisyal na medal sport na sa 19th Asian Games ang iba't ibang mga e-sports. Aba, 8 video games ang paglalabanan para sa medalya. Kasama rito ang Arena of Valor, Dota 2, Dream 3 Kingdoms 2, EA Sports FIFA, Hearthstone, League of Legends, PUBG at Street Fighter 5. Ayon sa Olympic Council of Asia, refleksyon ito ng popularidad at paglago ng esports sa host nation na China at sa buong Asia. Noong 2019, nag-debut rin sa Southeast Asian Games ang esports bilang medal event kung saan nanalo ng 5 medalya at 3 ginto ang Pilipinas. Sa US Open, isang panalo na lang at makukumpleto na ang fairy tale finish ng may lahing Pinoy na si Leila Fernandez sa women's singles. Tinalo ng 19-year-old Canadian ang second seed na si Arena Sabalenka sa 3 set para makatungtong sa kanyang unang Grand Slam Finals. All teenage finals ang mangyayari bukas sa pagitan ni Fernandez at 18 anyos na si Emma Raducanu na isang qualifier. Samantala, bigo naman makalusot sa quarterfinals si Alex Ayala sa junior singles nang talunin siya ni Sebastiana Silipoti 7-5-6-3. Of course, the latest is pumasok po si Alex Ayala at ang kanyang partner na si Han van de Winkel sa semifinals ng doubles ng US Open Juniors. At ngayon po ay sila ay lumalaban na against a US pair. Mamaya, babalitaan pa namin kayo tungkol dyan. At kahapon din, inanunsyo ang pagpirma ni Dwight Ramos sa Toyama Grouses ng Japan B-League. Si Ramos na ang pang-8 Pinoy bowler na maglalaro bilang Asian import sa Japanese League. Kasama rin niya sa parehas na conference at makakatapat sina Ray Parks at ang Ravenna Brothers. At yan po ang ating mga tinutukan sa ating mga sports weekly highlights. Kagaya po na nabanggit ko, si Alex Ayala, bagamat medyo minalas at hindi siya po nakapasok sa singles, siya po ay pasok na kasama ng kanyang Belgian partner nang talunin nila sa quarterfinals si Coleman at Sieg, yung American pair. Ngayon, ang kalaban na naman nila ay tila Amerikano na naman yata, no? And right now, ay lumalaban na po sila sa doubles ng US Open at ngayon ay nasa first set na po ang laban. Mamaya, we will update you on the scores. Nakakatuwa sapagkat talaga namang puspusan kahit na napuspon yung laban at pagod na pagod. Pulso ng bayan. Nawala ba ako? Alright mga kaibigan, nagbabalik po tayo. Alright, at this point, bago tayo magpatuloy, syempre, lagi natin pong gusto makita at makuha ang inyong opinion. So, ito po ang ating pupulsuhan ngayon sa Pulso ng Bayan. ang Philippine women's volleyball teams na lalaban para sa club championship sa Thailand. Pero kapansin-pansin na wala dito si Alyssa Valdez. Kaya po ang tanong na gusto nating pulsuhan ngayon, ano ang posibleng dahilan para hindi isama si Alyssa Valdez sa mga top players ng bansa sa national squad? Ulitin ko po yan. Ano sa tingin nyo ang posibleng dahilan para hindi isama si Alyssa sa mga top players ng bansa sa ating national squad na lalahok po dyan sa ADC Club Championship sa Thailand? Kung gusto nyo po makapagbigay ng inyong opinion, mag-text lamang sa 0908-208-0629 o di kaya ay mag-comment sa aming Facebook page ng Power and Play o sa Facebook page po ng Radyo 5 o ng One Sports, or rather 1PH. Again, hindi po natin alam ang tunay na rason. Ako po, sa ganang akin, si Alyssa is one of the top players of the Philippines. And when you talk about national team representation, ang gusto natin dyan ay ang pinakamagagaling na mga manlalaro. Maaaring hindi siya mapili dahil hindi gusto ng coach. Pero sa aking opinion, dapat maimbita kung talagang open tryout ang pinag-uusapan. Ngayon, hindi naman kailangan ipasok siya dyan Katulad din ng Gilas. Hindi naman po lahat ng pinakamagagaling ay nandun sa national team. Pero yung maimbita at mabigyan ng pagkakataon, malaki na pong oportunidad dyan para sa ating mga manlalaro. Lalong-lalo na sa isang veterano katulad ni Alyssa Valdez. So, we do not know the reasons and we certainly hope it's not politics. Pero sana po ay bigyan ng pagkakataon na ang mga magagaling na players ay makapag-tryout man lang at maisama sa hanay ng national squad. Alright, mga kaibigan, tuloy-tuloy po tayo dito sa ating palatuntunan. And right now, of course, as we begin the program, ang opinyon ng mga journalists ang gusto nating makuha. At ito po, ang Fast Take hatid sa inyo ng Cherry Tigo. Dito po sa Fast Take, of course, ang opinyon ng mga sports journals ang ating mga kapatid sa hanap buhay ang mahalaga. And of course, today, napakaswerte tayo dahil ang ating mga kasama, mga talaga pong sinusundan natin at mga suki ng Fast Take. No other than FIBA writer and of course writer para sa Daily Tribune, si Enzo Flojo, and of course ang ating kaibigan from the Philippine Star, Luisa Morales. Magandang umaga, Enzo and Luisa. Thanks for joining us today.
Umaga po. Good morning.
Good morning, Luisa.
Good morning po.
Alam nyo, kita nyo, naka-jacket si Enzo, talagang malamig talagang nag-uulan. Pero ang ganda rin ng balita, ang dami nangyayari ngayon. Again, as sports opens, everything is going on. But Enzo, I'd like to start with you, yung balita tungkol kay Dwight Ramos being the 8th player to go to the Japan B-League, and actually, he is the first hindi naman, active UAP player na may eligibility pa kasi yung De Leaño brothers meron din naman, But do you think that this is now becoming a trend for collegiate players, at do you think ito, Enzo, will have an impact on the UAP and collegiate sports?
Well, definitely it gives us an idea of the direction of where the basketball landscape is taking us. There are more doors opening for Filipino basketball players, especially those who are young and very talented like Dwight Ramos. And there are many others in his wake. And this is something we saw, or we kind of projected when 30 really opened the floodgates last year, entering the B League. And we felt that, more players would consider taking that route. Honestly, I didn't think it would grow to 8 already and maybe counting pa, all right? But I think it's a very good development. It gives our young players a lot more opportunities, like I said, and it kind of forces Philippine basketball to try and evaluate its state, its status, and try to find ways to evolve and innovate in the near future. So, yun ko, I think that it's good overall for the young players and for Philippine basketball in general.
By the way, hindi pa to kasama sa Fast Take. Pinag-uusapan lamang ni Enzo, namin ni Enzo at ni Luisa. Pero ako, ito lang ang take ko dito. Parang, can you imagine, ang kagandahan nito is nirelease siya ng Ateneo. He's a vital part of the campaign ng Ateneo for the next 2 years. Marami pa siyang eligibility and yet nirelease siya ng Ateneo. Hindi sila naging hadlang sa kanyang plano na makapaglaro sa ibang bansa and freely he was released and obviously there was a lot of discussion. Hindi naman yung basta pinayagan na lamang siya. But again, dapat ganun ng mga liga. Again, this is not a knock on the PBA. I just hope that many of the teams, many of the leagues will understand na mahalaga ang kinabukasan ng ating mga kabataan. At ito yung makakatulong sa national cause. Luisa, let me go to you about the US Open. We've seen a beautiful surge of teenage players now in the finals. Leila Fernandez and Emma Raducanu, parehong multiracial, parehong teenager. But of course, I'd like to talk about Alex Ayala na ngayon ay naglumalaban sa doubles. She is now in the semifinals. Pero yung singles, again, tila may mga balakid para siya makaangat. What do you think is going to, what will it take for Alex to get to the next level sa singles?
I think kung nakikita po kasi natin based on the statistics ng mga matches niya, there looks to be a problem sa kanyang serve. Madalas nakikita natin there are a lot of double faults. And also, I think in particular nung kalaban niya si Silipoti, parang medyo marami siyang unforced errors. Siguro kung hindi na lang natin ma-evaluate during that time yung skill niya talaga. Kasi I think there was around mga 7 hours na delay. Dahil sa ulan. So siguro naging factor din 'yon, But I would say isang part talaga ng game ni Alex na dapat niya matuunan ng pansin and siguro ng mga coaches niya is really the serving. Kasi nakita din natin si Lipoti was really looking good in receiving her serves, parang hindi siya maka-hold ng kanyang mga serves and hopefully she can figure that out by the next Grand Slam, And siguro na lang update po ay nanalo siya sa first set silang dalawa ni Han 7-5 ngayon. So leading sila ngayon sa kanilang semifinal match.
Yan ang mga balitang gusto ko marinig. Lamang po ang ating pambato si Alex at si Han van de Winkel ng Belgium sa doubles ng semifinals US Open Juniors. Well, tama ka. Alam mo, sabi sa akin ng kanyang ama si Mike, it's a work in progress, Insan, sabi niya sa akin. And definitely, we will see more improvement as the months and years go by kay Alex Ayala. All right. Let's go to our fast take issues now of the morning. At alam na ninyo ang ating patakaran. Walang tama, walang mali. Bato-bato sa langit, tamaan, huwag magagalit. Ang unang issue natin ngayong umagang ito. Alam naman natin na meron ng mga nangyaring hawahan at positive cases dyan sa PBA bubble na ginaganap sa Pampanga, sa Bacolor, Pampanga. It's actually not a bubble. It's like a semi-bubble. Yung tinatawag nilang closed circuit, home to venue. Sa tingin nyo ba dahil dito sa mga naging positive cases, dapat nang bumalik sa full bubble setup ang PBA? I will begin with you, and so you have 1 minute. Go!
Well, I'm assuming that the PBA kind of has protocols for something like this, and I think naman that we have very smart people up there in the PBA, and I'm sure they have preparations for this kind of scenario. However, parang I don't think the infections will slow down. I mean, I don't want to be a pessimist or anything, so I think we should strongly consider having more stringent protocols, if not go back to a full bubble. I know it's going to be extremely costly financially and mentally, kasi the players spoke a lot about it after last year's bubble. But given all the stops and starts that we've seen in the PBA, it just seems like they haven't been able to really gain a lot of momentum moving forward. So from a big picture and long-term perspective, I think going back into a full bubble or as close to it as possible is going to be good for the league and for all the players as well and for all the fans, because they don't want to see a stop-and-go tournament moving forward.
Very good point, yung stop and go. Talaga namang para tayong jeepney along Show Boulevard. Bawat kanto tumitigil. Bawat kanto tumitigil ang PBA. Alright, same issue. Luisa, sa tingin mo ba, dahil sa dami or sa mga kaso nangyari, huwag na muna natin sabihing dami kasi that is a judgment. But sa mga kaso nangyayari ngayon dun sa PBA Philippine Cup, dapat na bang bumalik sa full bubble ang liga? You have 1 minute, Luisa. Go!
Right. Sa tingin ko po, Com, no, in whatever setup na ginagawa ng kahit anong sports leagues ngayon sa pandemic, dapat ang nagiging priority ay yung implementation ng protocols. Ano? Kasi regardless if it's full bubble or semi-bubble setup, if there are instances na hindi nasusunod ang rules ng mga players or whoever, talaga lagi magkakaproblema po yan. Hindi naman natin sinasabi na yan ang tunay na nangyari sa PBA restart kasi hindi naman natin nakikita kung ano po talaga nangyayari dyan sa Pampanga. But I guess baka need lang ng reminder. Siguro kasi yung full bubble setup medyo pricey and ito nga closed circuit nakita natin na tumulong na nga ang players para ma-meet ang expenses. Siguro pwede na lang po magawa ng PBA is to see what's working and see what's not sa kanilang system and adjust accordingly. Siguro hindi natin pwedeng hayaang mangyari ay yung walang magbago kasi so far yun nga nakikita natin na medyo hindi gumagana itong current setup dahil ngayon 2 araw na magkasunod na nag-postpone ng games and may mga positive tests.
All right. Well, ako sang-ayon ako sa mga sinabi ninyo. Ako, I've always said and I already put this out na ako hindi naniniwala sa mga semi-bubble. In fact, pareho rin naman hindi rin naman sila pwede lumabas, hindi rin sila pwedeng tumanggap ng mga bisita. Ang pinag-uusapan lang dito ay pagtitipid. And I've talked to a lot of players at sinasabi nila, mas mentally challenging pa nga daw ito Dahil sarili mo ang pangangalaga, hindi ka inaalagaan. So I really don't see the difference. I think it's a bubble setup, pero ayaw gumastos ng PBA, which I cannot believe. I have been in that league. Mababa po yung perang pinasukan ko dyan, pero tumulong po lahat ng koponan. So I do not believe na hindi kaya ng PBA gawin ang bubble setup. But again, tama kayo, sabi nga ni Dr. Canlas, walang tinatawag na zero COVID sa isang liga ngayon. We have to expect that at ipagdasal na lang natin ang ating mga players at officials. All right, let's go to our second fast take issue of the day. Ang issue po natin ay tungkol sa Gilas Women's, and we've seen the draw, the group na kasama nila, pambihira ang lakas. Australia, China, and Chinese Taipei. So ang tanong, gaano kalaki ang chances at ano-anong dapat na gawin ng ating Gilas Women's sa FIBA Women's Asia Cup? Lalo na 2 sa kanilang mga kalaban ay pasok na sa top 10 ng world rankings. I'll begin with you, Luisa. Go!
Siguro kung maganda tignan ng ating Gilas Women, ang teenagers nga na si Leila Fernandez at Emma Raducanu sa US Open. Parang dinepay nila lahat ng odds, mga ranking ng kalaban nila. Parang sige lang ng sige. Pero at the end of the day po, parang tingin ko lang ang importante dito sa tournament na to ay makita natin ulit sa international tournament ang national team natin, ang Gilas Women. Kasi ngayon nga lang po sila nagkaroon din ng training bubble during the pandemic and ngayon lang nagkasama-sama ulit. Whatever happens, I think very excited lang ang lahat, the players, the fans, and even Coach Pat, na yung siguro sa kanila just play the brand of basketball that they know that they are capable of. Sa dulo naman po ay importante ay matuto sila dun sa kanilang mga play and maibalik nila dito sa Pilipinas to further our programs. And yun, alam naman natin din ang Pilipina ay hindi ata yan sumusuko. So, we never know po.
Well, maganda yung sinabi mo, Luis. Talaga hindi sumusuko ang Pilipina. In fact, laging sugot ng sugot nga At saka maganda yung sinabi, natuwa ako dun Uso naman ngayon ng underdog
Yes po.
Alright. And so, same issue. Ano ang dapat gawin ng ating Gilas Women's, lalong-lalo na ang kanilang kasama sa bracket o sa group ay mga nasa top 10 ng world rankings. You have 1 minute, and so go!
Well, it's very exciting, just to see Gilas basketball again. The women are very exciting to watch. You have a lot of really great talent coming up. You have Ella Pardo, you have Camille Clarin. Even without Jack Animam there, you have a lot of great players on this team. You have your veterans also. April Bernardino is there. Of course, Janine Pontejos is there. But realistically speaking, if I'm going to be completely objective, they're like what Luisa said. They're going to be severe underdogs. We're talking about being grouped against Australia, which is a world power in women's basketball, grouped against China, which is the winningest Asian team in the history of the Women's Asia Cup. If they get past that, they're going to go up against Japan, maybe, which has won the last 4 Women's Asia Cups. So it's going to be odds stacked against them. But I just hope that they get, to hit some realistic objectives. Maybe win one game, be competitive, and build the seeds for a really good long-term program for the team because they have all the talent that can make this a really competitive team in the years to come.
I like that, Enzo. I like that. Yung just going by objective, talagang tama yan. I really think na nung araw nga, pinag-uusapan lang natin paano tayo lulusot sa Southeast Asian Games. Kaya pinag-uusapan na natin. We're going up against the top teams in the world. And I think that's a tribute to the program of SBP. That's a tribute to Coach Pat Aquino's program. And of course, the recruitment and training that we've done. Alam natin, Enzo, that we also have a lot of players still abroad na
Yes.
pwede natin gamitin yan. Yung Film Nation Select has been a big contributor to this cause and we certainly are very proud of this program at nakakatuwa na ating mga kababaihan ay halos pinapantayan na ang kalalakihan pagdating sa basketball. All right, from honor to dishonor. Ito ang third issue natin. Medyo napahiya tayo dyan sa tinatawag nilang FIDE Online Olympiad dahil nahulihan tayo ng isang manlalaro na nag-violate ng fair play rules. And ang resulta, ang buong koponan ng Philippines ay na-disqualified. So ang ating issue, ano ang masasabi ninyo sa issue nito at tama lang ba na madamay ang buong bansa dahil sa pagkakamali o violation, pandaraya ng isang manlalaro? I will begin with you, Enzo. You have 1 minute. Go.
Well, first of all, I want to give kudos, I guess, to the coach of our team, si Jason Gonzalez, because he didn't really hide behind the issue. He didn't dodge it or anything. He faced it. No? And sabi nga niya, in the news articles that have been coming out, yes, it's true, this happened. But at the same time, he stands by his team. No? We will appeal the decision. That's what he said. Objectively speaking, I hope that the appeal goes through and it's granted because for me, kawawa naman yung ibang members ng team. Okay, may nagkamali and it wasn't a minor violation by any stretch. Right? It was a major violation. And hindi naman tinago ng team, haharapin na rin consequences. But sometimes kasi, the remedy is more of a problem than the original problem. Parang ganun, di ba? And I think that's what I'm seeing here. I don't think that faulting the entire team will actually make things better moving forward.
Well, sabi nga nila, punish the violator at wag na dapat lumalampas na sa scope na yun. Same issue, Luisa. Dahil sa pagkakamali, isang violation ng isang chess delegate natin sa FIBA Online Olympiad, nadamay ang buong Philippine team at ang buong bansa. Technically, it's a pahid na nangyari. Tama ba to? O ano ang sa tingin mong dapat natin gawin? You have 1 minute, Luisa. Go!
Siguro po una-una ko, yung naging reaction ko po dito. Pero medyo nakakahiya nga po Parang that was really the general feeling of everyone. Parang pati ako na-apektuhan po nung na-disqualify ang ating team. As for the sanction po, siguro magandang magkaroon ng investigation. Ano ba talagang nangyari? Yung team ba was aware nung pandaraya na nangyari? So far, yun ang mukhang hindi naman po. Kasi hindi maganda na yung innocent bystander ka lang dito sa issue na to at maapektuhan ka. Based din kasi sa reports po, makaka-qualify pa rin ang Pilipinas do sa top division ng FIDE Olympiad, kahit ibawas yung points ng player na nandaya. So sayang na sayang rin siguro ang feeling. But I think yung position po ng FIDE kasi parang learning curve siya sa lahat ng teams, na parang yung fine talaga mabigat na mabigat para siguro mas bantayan mo yung team mo, mas tignan mo ng maigi na to make sure that this doesn't happen again. Pero hopefully makarecover naman agad-agad ang ating Philippine chess team.
Yes, indeed. Sana nga tayo'y makabalik at hindi na importante yung resulta. Ang mahalaga dito yung pangalan ng ating bansa. Mahirap naman na tayo ay pansagan pa ng bansa na puro mandaraya. Nakikita na nga natin sa nangyayari sa mga kaganapan sa ating kapaligiran sa politika Tapos nadadamay pa ang sports. Sana nga wag. At kung meron mang sanctions ay maging reasonable. Alright. So again, as always, it's been very informative and entertaining, guys. Maraming salamat sa inyong pagsama sa ating ngayong umaga. Enzo and Luisa, good luck sa inyo and stay safe.
Thank you po.
Stay safe also. Thanks, Luisa.
Stay safe. Bye po. Thank you.
Mga kaibigan natin, mga kaibigan, FIBA correspondent, and of course, Daily Tribune writer, si Enzo Flo. And from the Philippine Star, Luisa Morales. Maraming salamat sa inyong mga fast takes ngayong umagang ito. Alright, before we take a break, ito muna, isang paalala po mula sa Smart. Puso Pilipinas is a movement to celebrate the Filipino athlete powered by Smart. Follow them on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Get a chance to win exclusive Puso Pilipinas merch by sharing their Facebook page in your social media accounts with hashtag Puso Pilipinas. The Gigalive App is the latest mobile app from Smart that lets you discover and enjoy your passions with the different Giga promos. It can be downloaded and used by Smart Postpaid, Smart Prepaid, Broke Prepaid, and TNT subscribers via the Apple or Google Play Store. What can the Gigalive app do for me? Check your balance, monitor your current subscription, top up using debit credit card, subscribe to the latest Giga promos, monitor your data consumption, auto-detect your mobile number when you are connected to Smart Network, one-tap subscription to the most popular offer, Giga Video 99. And Power and Play is powered by Smart. When we come back from the back end of this commercial break, we will have Jai Reyes on the show, ang dating PBA player, now a commissioner sa isang bagong liga. Sa pagbabalik po ng Power and Play, hatid sa inyo ng Cherry Loom at ng Cherry Tigo.
Alex, are you ready to have some fun on your first driving lesson?
Welcome to the Gigalive. Your passions, your stories, your life, simplified with just one app. This is the future. The Gigalive in just one tap. Experience more Giga moments when you make the smart choice. With the Philippines' fastest mobile data network. How do I know it's D1? Simple, smart ako.
Doon po sa mga nag-aabang ng balita doon sa PBA, again, doon po sa kagabi, mga laban natin, nanalo po kagabi ang Phoenix laban sa Terrafirma. So natapos na yung winning streak ng Terrafirma. Samantalang naungusan ng rain or shine ang Magnolia. Ang ganda ng laban nila. Of course, ang Magnolia coming off a double overtime game, kaya medyo pagod. And doon sa last game natin kahapon, nanalo po San Miguel Beermen kontra Barangay Ginebra. So talagang dikit-dikit na yung mga kupunan at ang talking text na nanatili sa tuktok ng ating team standings. So very interesting. Tuloy-tuloy po mga laban ng PBA ngayong araw na to. And talking about the PBA, well, ang ating po susunod na panauhin ay galing sa PBA. But now he's also putting up his own league, a league of their own. Tunay na new beginnings sa player Walang iba player at ngayon ay commissioner and founder ng FilBasket. Walang iba kundi si Jai Reyes. Magandang umaga, Jai.
Hi, Sir Nolly. Thank you for having me on your show.
Maraming salamat for joining us this morning. Ako hindi ka nagbabago, Jai. Parang bumabata ka pa. Ikaw ba, before we go to the topic of FilBasket, you are still connected with the Nueva Ecija Rice Vanguards, di ba? Ng MPBL.
Well, supposedly, but until now, wala pang season for the MPBL. Eh. So everything is on break. That's actually the primary reasons kung bakit nandito tayo for FilBasket dahil we wanna restart and jumpstart the jobs na ang daming nawalang trabaho eh.
All right, let's go very immediately to that topic now, Jai. Alam natin na ikaw ang founder ng isang liga bagong liga na ngayon ay gusto magsimula itong FilBasket. First of all, ano ba itong FilBasket at ano ang naging history nito? Paano ito nabuo? How did you get this idea together?
Yes, thank you for that question, Sir Nolly. So for FilBasket, we really started this dahil yun nga, medyo nagtagal na yung pandemic and a lot of our leagues na normally nandyan na nalalaro ng mga players natin in and out of the year, wala ngayon. So a couple of prominent people in the basketball industry, namely si Sir Buddy Encarnado, nag-udyukan talaga kami and we challenged each other if we can jumpstart basketball again. Alang-alang mabalik yung mga trabaho na nawala for almost 2 years already. Maraming players na kung ano-ano na yung ginagawa because we weren't really given a chance to learn something new para dito sa bagong normal ng pandemic. So we really believe that sports and especially basketball can be started in a safe manner and environment.
Alam mo, one of the reasons kaya ako nakita itong topic na to, I met Jeric Teng the other day at kinakamusta ko nga pala si Jeric, si Jeron, si Alvin at si Susan Teng. Lahat yan ay mga kaibigan natin. And sabi nga niya, he will begin to play for FilBasket and he's very excited about this. So I was very, very interested to know what this is all about. Una, Jai, so kung kayo magre-restart o magsisimula, then you are a pro league?
Actually, no, sir. There's already some circulars na galing sa IATF and DOH on how to conduct sports bubble, even if you are not under the GAB and the DOH. So that's what we're following right now. We're a developmental league, sir. So basically, what we're trying to capture is the space after the school leagues and the PBA, the pro leagues and the international leagues. So naniniwala kami na actually dito tingin namin yung pinakamaraming population ng players. It's either they came back from the pro leagues or hindi na sila pwedeng makapaglaro sa college level. So we thought na magandang space ito na simulan talaga, and we would like to create a league, a brand wherein the players and the team owners would really love to be a part of. Talagang gusto nilang i-represent itong sinusulong namin sa FilBasket, and hopefully we get to start it on the right note.
All right. So it is a developmental league, hindi ito professional, more of non-professional kasi hindi naman natin pwedeng tawagin talagang totally amateur. Wala na namang ganyan talaga. But is this community-based? Is this corporate-based? Paano ang organization ito?
Okay, so for now, since restricted nga tayo sa mga COVID protocols and restrictions, and we really want to do a full bubble setup for this first tournament because we believe it's the safest way and that's our priority still for the players and everybody involved in the tournament. We're starting a short tournament first, so 1 month tournament muna para hindi masyadong mabigat for the team owners and for us in the league being a startup. So tournament muna siya, sir. So we have a mix from the top teams in the MPBL and also new corporate teams na pumasok. So for this one, we're basically open kung anong gustong na type of teams na pumasok sa aming tournament given it's just a short tournament.
Ilang koponan to, ilang teams to, Jai, na ipapasok nyo dito sa bubble? And is this going to be a continuing league? Hindi to one-time league. This is like a regular league that will have a couple of tournaments. May plano ba kayong several tournaments in a year?
Well, for now, yes, the plan is to keep on going and continuing building the brand of the league. What we are planning na lang is kung itutuloy pa ba namin na puro short tournaments pa lang habang meron pang restrictions, but definitely we will keep on going, and we'd like to complement the current landscape ng basketball dito. Wala tayong nilalabanan or wala tayong gustong kunin ng mga team sa mga ibang liga. We want to be inclusive. Kumbaga, Sir Noli, yun talaga isa sa mga core foundations na gusto namin. We want to bring the basketball community together with FilBasket. So ang vision namin for the short term is to see multiple levels na maglaban-laban sa aming liga. So right now we have 12 teams, although the Clearport Canada team, given that they have some players coming from Canada, medyo nahihirapan, given the current pandemic na makapagdala ng teams. So 12 teams, but it could be reduced to 11, and yes, we plan to start on September 18, but itong past couple of days, last-minute issues na COVID-related in our LGU where we are having the tournament. So we had to push back. We had a meeting with our teams that we had to push back to September 25, given the last-minute preparations na kailangan coming from our LGU.
So September 25, and this will be a full bubble. Do you know saan nyo lalaroin ito, Jai? Saan na kayo maglalaro?
Right now, sa Laurel, Batangas, in Splendido, dyan nakaplano yung tournament namin.
So, may hotel doon, may hotel doon at saka may gym. Tama.
Yes. So, naghanap talaga kami ng venue kung saan safety ang magiging priority, hindi na kailangan mag-bus para makalaro ng games. So, lahat nandun na lang. So, very safe yun talaga yung priority namin.
Ikaw ba nag-golf ka? Siguro, kaya mo pinili ito, nag-golf ka rin, ano?
Hindi ko na nga binanggit pero isa sa mga reasons, siyempre, kaya gusto natin yung venue na yun.
Dapat maimbita mo ako doon. Anyway, Jai, ang tanong, ang dami ng liga sa basketball, and minsan napupulaan na nga ang basketball. So, what will make FilBasket different from the other leagues?
Very short, what will make us different is that we want to make basketball our main priority. Ang dami kong nalaruan na liga that basketball is secondary, with other purposes or goals na priority. So here we would really like to copy the business model and how the NBA is taking care of their product, which is really the game and the talent of the players and the stories na maipapakita, na mai-share namin from the players. We really believe in listening to the fans. That's also one thing that we would really like to give importance, na makinig sa mga gusto ng fans na makita sa basketball league. So that's the thing that we can promise to everybody, that we will keep basketball as our priority in this tournament, and hindi kami magpapaderail sa mga ibang bagay alang-alang kumita ng pera or other purposes. Of course, this league we have to generate income para maging sustainable. Lahat naman ng liga kailangan yan. But we believe in making basketball the priority. Dito namin makukuha yung goals namin.
You have been a journeyman in many leagues, na nakapaglaro ka sa, of course, college, and then you went to the PBA as a draftee, and then, of course, naglaro ka sa ABL, naglaro ka sa D-League, naglaro ka sa MPBL. Ano ang mga napulot mo na mga leksyon dyan sa pagiging journeyman mo, sa paglalaro mo sa napakaraming liga, that you will, sincerely say, ilalagay mo as a tatak dito sa inyong FilBasket?
Correct, sir. So I guess tama kayo. Ang dami kong nilaruan Parang almost all the leagues here and around the region, pati mga pro leagues in Thailand, in Singapore. I was also fortunate enough to play at a short tournament in Australia. I guess this is the culmination of everything I've learned. I really love basketball. That's why, I still choose to play. I still want to play. But right now, wala pa tayong malaruan talaga. So I'm also looking forward to continuing to play kahit papaano. So this one, I learned so many things, mainly the regional or city-based teams wherein you tap the home crowd, yung support ng mga tao sa city or province na yun, is very, very effective. Na kahit na hindi nga nila kilala yung mga players sa team namin, basta nag-cheer sila para sa lugar na yun, tuwang-tuwa talaga sila. Of course, in the PBA, my biggest learning is that they attract the best players possible, the top talent. I think that's very, very important for fans, because in FilBasket, we want to bring top quality basketball entertainment. So I'm very excited, sir, para maibahagi sa lahat ng tao. There's too much to share kung ano yung gusto kong ilagay sa liga nito in this short interview. So I would like to invite everybody na sana tutukan nila and give FilBasket a chance na maging part rin ng normal basketball routine ng lahat ng Pilipino.
Very happy for you, Jai. Talagang it's good to see young people getting involved and having that vision. It starts with that and of course yung talagang enthusiasm. Minsan kasi mga nakaupo sa ating mga liga nandun na lang, napakatagal na halos inaamag na at kung ano-ano na lang naiisip. Jai, let me ask you about. I know you've been very opinionated. I follow you on Twitter. I follow your opinions on many things. No, and you're also a TV host. You are very opinionated with so many things. So let me ask you about some sports issues that are current sa ating kapaligiran. Unang-una, alam natin, bagong pasok sa Japan B-League si Dwight Ramos. He's the 8th Pinoy. You said that you've been in so many other leagues. Do you think that this is going to be a trend in the coming years? At gaano kahirap ba ang maging player sa labas?
Basically, parang buhay OFW talaga. When I was playing in the ABL, that's how we treated it. And nung nag-start pa lang ABL, sabi ko, this could be a good opportunity for Filipino players dahil of course medyo limited ang team sa ating sa PBA. So everybody would basically look for a chance elsewhere na yung meron rin potential na maging global icon ka or you're representing the whole country. So yes, I think this is a start of a new trend, especially our younger players na hindi nakakalaro ngayon in the UAAP and in the NCAA. I think especially the B-League is very aggressive in recruiting players here in the Philippines, and I've heard that they're really asking their people or their agents to really learn English para makapag-communicate sa ating mga players. So yes, but I think this is a very welcome event for Philippine basketball. I think we should embrace this with open arms and use this as a building block for us to get better as a basketball nation.
Talking about that, embracing it with open arms, alam natin pinayagan ng Ateneo si Dwight na walang tayo narinig in public at the very least, no. So alam naman natin on the other hand, ang PBA has really come up with very, very strict rules, including what they call a draft dodger rule, na kapag hindi ka nagpa-draft within 5 years, napakaraming penalties and sanctions. How do you react to that and what is your position?
Well, the PBA has been successful because of what they do, their own identity. So I cannot really say that this is neither right or wrong. This in their view is the proper way to move forward with their league. So like I said, kanya-kanyang goals for your own league, for your corporation. So I think the PBA can do whatever they want with regards to their rules. So as players, it's up to you ngayon kung paano yung diskarte mo on your career. Do you want to take this route? Do you want to take the international route? So the bottom line is the leagues are competing for the players in the Philippines. Yan yung magandang nakikita natin na talagang tumataas yung talent level natin. But I'd like to see more leagues, and I think we're gonna start that with FilBasket to be more inclusive. We'd really like to support players who are going internationally because this can only mean better for our country na tumataas kasing standards natin when we get to play with international talents. So that's also one thing that we'd like to impart with FilBasket. We want to invite a lot of international teams when the restrictions ease up, and we are forming partnerships na para yung FilBasket rin makapaglaro sa ibang tournaments in other countries.
And before I let you go, obviously in FilBasket, we'll pay the players, no? Jai, meron kayong salaries and paano ba mag-apply dyan?
Well, for now, it's up to the teams. Really, there are some teams setting up na mostly amateurs na gusto nila free yung paglaro para hindi ma-affect yung eligibility ng bata or ng player. But yeah, some of the teams naman meron talagang bayad. So being inside the industry na player talaga ako, gusto ko talaga, Sir Nolly, i-impart na maging fair sa mga players na itong ligang to basically is for the industry, the players and the coaches and everybody involved in the basketball.
Well, the good thing about another league is that there is another option for all of the Pinoy basketball players. Hindi lamang iisa, hindi lamang dadalawa, buong mundo ang ating merkado at ngayon nadagdagan pa ng FilBasket. Jai, I'm so proud of you. I'm very happy na sa iyong vision, sa iyong nagawa, and I wish you all the best. Again, we'd like to imbitahan mo lahat ng mga tao na manood ng FilBasket.
Yes, maraming salamat, Sir Nolly, for having me on your show. We'll make an effort to invite you guys sa aming bubble. But for all the Filipino fans, FilBasket is here for you guys. We believe that this can be the home of Filipino basketball. We will listen to you guys through the comment section in any which way possible. And we would like to bring the games to you guys in the easiest way for you guys to watch. Always, we will keep the purity of basketball and top quality basketball entertainment na ihatid sa inyo ang aming priority. So sana abangan ninyo ang FilBasket dahil para sa inyong lahat to.
Make it hip, make it hop, make it pop, and make it really cool, Jai. Yun lang ang advice ko sa iyo. Alright, maraming salamat, Jai, sa iyong panahon and good luck sa iyo at ang FilBasket. Regards to Buddy Encarnado.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Alright. Yan po mga kaibigan, ang founder ng FilBasket, dating PBA player at talaga namang outspoken advocate, si Jai Reyes. Alright, bago po tayo magpatuloy sa ating susunod na panauhin, and again, it's about new beginnings in his career, medyo short break muna tayo para ating pong panoorin ang isa na namang viral video at sumilip tayo sa pop culture ng sports dito po sa ating Stop and Pop. Una nating video ngayong araw pong ito ay tungkol sa parental guidance. hindi po yung PG, hindi po TV rating. Ito po ay literally guidance ng isang magulang. Panoorin niyo po to ha. Ang isang bata na ay naglalaro ng football ay sinabayan ng kanyang nanay papunta sa touchdown. Tila nauna pa yung nanay doon sa bata, no? Sobrang excited. Ilan sa inyo nakaka-relate dyan, ha? Yung bang kayo yung magulang at gusto nyong hikayatin yung anak ninyo na maka-score. Yan po, sobrang excited lang ni Mami at napatakbo pa rin. Stage bomb sa Stop and Pop. Yan po ang ating nakakatuwang mga viral video. Again, abangan niyo po yung ating Stop and Pop moments dito po sa Power and Play. At this point, pinag-uusapan natin new beginnings. Well, this is another veteran who suddenly found a new life sa kanyang career with his new team, Terrafirma. At ngayon po siya ang tinalagang Player of the Week ng PBA dahil sa napakagandang performance niya. Truly magical. Tawag sa kanya, Magic Tiongson. Pero simply, he is Juami Tiongson. Dito po sa Power and Play. The man of the hour. In fact, Player of the Week ng PBA. Walang iba kung hindi ang Terrafirma star na si Juami Tiongson. Magandang araw, Juami.
Hello, good evening po, Sir Nolly. Thank you po for having me.
Nako kami ang very happy na makasama ka. I know that you have been working very hard dyan sa inyong lugar, dyan sa Pampanga. Unang-una, Mami, ano bang nakain mo? Mukhang hiyang ka yata sa sisig at saka sa kung anong pagkain dyan sa Pampanga. Napakaganda ng paglalaro mo.
Oo nga, dito po ata ako pinanganak eh. ever since last bubble ko, medyo maganda po yung shooting dito.
Oh, well, it is your best start. It is your best start in your career. since you came into the league back in 2014, no? And ang averages mo is off the roofs. Ika nga off the roof, skyrocketing. Unang-una, did you see this coming? And how are you taking all of this success, Mami?
I wouldn't say naman po, sir, na I saw it coming. Pero for sure, I worked hard for it. All throughout naman po, ever since college, I've been working on my game, trying to learn my game. Kasi in college, hindi naman po talaga ako masyadong nakakakuha ng playing time. More on the latter part of my career na when I got to Terrafirma. So medyo dun ko na-realize how my game really works.
Correct. And in fact, when you started your career sa Blackwater, you were averaging about less than 5 points a game. Napunta ka sa NLEX,
Yes, sir.
medyo gumanda doon ng konti yung paglalaro
Yes, sir.
with Coach Yang. No? And of course, now with Terrafirma, last season, you were already hitting double digits. At ngayon, you practically led the league in scoring. So talagang pambihira yung pagkakaakyat ng scoring mo and your performance overall. Kamusta ang mga teammates mo? How are they reacting to all of this and of course supporting you?
Very supportive po yung teammates ko. Sila nga po number one cheerleaders ko. Parati nila after the game, parati po nila ako kinukulit. So yung pinakamakulit po na parating lumalaki na nga po ata ulo ko dahil kay Bonbon Batilier po. Parati po ang dami ko pong nickname galing sa kanya.
Kagaya ng ano? Ano mga nickname?
Mga Clay Tiongson. Tiongson.
Of course, mas kilala ka sa Magic Johnson eh. Yun ang biro sa iyo even back in college.
Opo. Shoutout po yun kay Coach Jamaica. Si Coach Jamaica rin po talaga nagbigay ng nickname na yun sa akin.
Nakakatuwa. Well, alam natin na hindi yan overnight. Hindi yan ginagawa ng isang player na ganun-ganun lamang, na swerte-swerte lang.
Yes, sir.
That really has to be a lot of hard work. So, what has been the key, Wami, para sa iyo dito sa transformation ng game mo? Hindi lang yung shooting mo, but your entire game so far dito sa Philippine Cup.
I would say po it took a while kasi I really didn't have a good start po sa PBA career ko. Almost came close to quitting nung binaba po nila ako sa D-League and then yun nga thankfully nakuha po ako ni Coach Yang, so what I could do, and then from there po dun ko po na-realize na I can compete po with the best of them po. Tapos and through God's grace po siguro and having faith lang po in him na everything will fall into place.
Basically, it's really confidence, Wami. Aside of
Yes,
course
sir.
from your inherent skill, pero yung kumpiyansa mo parang talagang napakataas, ano?
Actually, it started po when nung first conference ko po with Terrafirma when I got traded from NLEX po, parang I averaged double digits na po. From there, parang sabi ko, kaya ko ata to. So, I continue to work on my game, continue to build on my confidence. Yun, thankfully, ito na nga po yung product ko. So, hopefully, I could continue to get wins.
All right. Well, alam naman natin that para magawa yan, players have to be given playing time. And nung hindi makakalaro itong sa Philippine Cup na to, yes, si Joshua Monson, hindi makakalaro si Roosevelt Adams. Did you know that the playing time was coming? And ano naging mindset mo, Wami?
I knew it was coming kasi since the last bubble naman po, I've been playing productive minutes naman po. So, I kind of expected it na during the off-season pa lang. That's why, as much as possible during the break, talagang inano ko po yung stamina ko po and parang binivisualize ko na rin po yung mga gagawin ko sa game.
Well, people know you in college with your shooting skill. Alam natin lahat yan that you can shoot the ball from anywhere and especially from deep. But now that you've been given itong responsibilidad na ito ng iyong team, now that you are the main man without your mga blue chip rookies and sophomores, ano ang kino-concentrate mo ngayon sa laro mo, Wami, that will justify itong responsibility na binigay sa'yo?
I would like to say maturity po and calmness when it comes to end game decisions. Kasi I think with that po, medyo lacking in experience pa po ako. That's why as much as possible, I try to learn as fast as possible po.
Tell us about Coach John Cardell. Tell us about how he is impacting your career right now.
Just yung mga sinasabi ko po sa mga other interviews ko, Coach John, medyo similar siya kay Coach Yang. He would let his players be creative, let you make mistakes, and then he trusts you, he trusts your decision. And for a player, not just with me personally, for everyone rin, I guess, na malaking bagay yun, laking bagay when a coach trusts you.
Well, alam natin kung gaano kagaling na naging player si John Cardell, and now pinapakita niya yung kanyang kagalingan bilang isang coach. And as you said, no, he has very, very similar styles with Coach Yang Yang. And that's saying a lot about Coach John Cardell. Juami, your reaction, naging player of the week ka. And obviously ngayon, you have a bullseye at the back of your jersey na ikaw na ngayon ang target ng depensa. How are you coping with this?
Of course, it's an honor po na to be given Player of the Week, pero it doesn't stop there. Parang if I don't want to get satisfied with that, still continue and get better. And with the defensive side naman po, I think I have good teammates who can help me. I have great teammates like Otep Gabayni. I think he really stepped up po. He set good screens, plus the intangible. So I'm very confident naman po na if off night ako, may other teammates will definitely step up po.
Oh yeah, ang dami niyong talagang umaangat na mga players, particularly Andreas Cahilig has been playing very, very well para sa inyo. And all the others, Eric Canson has been a veteran presence inside the outreach.
Albert Ramos, yeah.
Pambihira ang transformation ng Terrafirma. And, is it more pressure on your part na ngayon ay alam nilang kayang mong gumawa, and you have become one of the leaders of this team?
Sorry sir, did you say pressure? What?
Oh, is it pressure? Is it pressure for you? Oh.
I would like to say I just want to have fun naman po. I mean, pressure naman po. It's more of, at the end of the day, I'm just playing basketball po. If you lose, you learn. I always just want to have fun. Yun po yung mentality ko coming into games. Just to have fun, enjoy, and make the most out of every opportunity.
I'm talking about making the most of every opportunity. Ang Terrafirma all of a sudden ay nabuhayan with those 3 wins. Of course, you lost your last game. You have a big game coming up tomorrow. But still, you are in the hunt. Ano ba ang nararamdaman? How is the morale of the team? And are you now seriously targeting making it to the next round?
Yes, sir. Of course. Our morale is very high, confident. In our last game against Phoenix, medyo disappointed kami. And I think that's a good sign kasi hindi lang yung parang yung pagkatalo namin, hindi lang yung basta talo. Parang nadamdam namin kasi we felt like we could have beaten them. And our goal right now is to make the playoffs, sir. Everyone's confident na we can make it. But of course, we're still learning how to win. We're a young team. Hopefully we continue to build on our confidence right now and continue to gain more experience down the road, especially in the playoffs. If we make it to the playoffs.
That's right. Well, maraming in the past have been very critical of Terrafirma. Lalong-lalo na nung nawala yung mga picks ninyo, nawala ang ibang players na iniisip nila ay very critical sa Terrafirma. Unang-una, do you think that is justified na maging critical sa team ninyo? Pangalawa, is your team trying to prove something with this in this particular conference na wag nyo naman kaming laging pinupuna?
Yeah, Opo. I think it's unfair yun po yung nakukuha namin negative comments with the team. all of us naman are really trying to win. All of us, syempre, get disappointed when we lose, get disappointed when we don't make the playoffs. Kasi we play basketball to win. Everyone when we are winners, we work very hard. So for us to hear negative comments na we see online, medyo hurtful. But that's why we continue to work hard and improve, and hopefully we're proving a lot of people wrong.
Well, you certainly are. At napakarami naman ang siyempre
Thank you.
naghahangat din na gumanda ang laban laro ninyo because that also makes it for a very interesting league. Wami, let me ask you about something outside of the game. Ngayon nandiyan kayo sa bubble and you have to follow so many protocols on your own sapagkat kailangan ninyong pangalagaan ang inyong kalusugan, siguraduhin na walang mangyayari sa bawat isa sa inyo sa team, and of course when you get to the playing court para walang mahawa. How much of a pressure is that, added pressure sa inyo playing under these circumstances?
It's very difficult. Siyempre, good thing nga we've been winning games. We've won 3 straight games. Kasi in our last bubble, I remember everyone was very down. Couldn't see their family. It was yung medyo yung what do you call this, yung depressing na yung mga anxieties namin nararamdaman. But now medyo high moral kami, so we're very thankful for that.
Well, I'm certainly hoping na everything will go well with the team, with all of you individually. Dahil, bagamat I have my own personal doubts about the situation, lagi nating hinahangad na sana tayong lahat ay makalusot at walang mangyari sa atin dito sa nangyayaring pandemya.
Thank you for
Mami, before I let you go, obviously your fans are very happy sa nangyari sa iyong career. How are you going to sustain itong form na to? What do you think will be the keys para magtuloy-tuloy na ang hindi lang yung performance ng team mo, but yung sarili mong performance, Mami?
I think it's more mental this time. Parang we all of us, not just me personally, have to stay confident, have to stick to the game plan, have to focus on and just enjoy the game and everything we do it for the glory of God.
Absolutely, and always yan ang laging tinuturo sa atin sa mga nag-aaral sa Ateneo, talagang always for the glory of God. Now, Mami, what will be the ultimate measurement in this Philippine Cup ng success para sa iyo? Obviously, you're now in the running for some of the good awards if you can sustain this form and bring Terrafirma to the next round. But what will be the measurement for you ultimately para sa being successful ka?
Of course, I have my own personal goals, but definitely the goal is to make the playoffs, at least quarterfinals, and then we see what happens from there. But if I get individual awards, that's good for me. But if we make the playoffs, even better.
Excellent. And I'm sure that many people are hoping na talagang tuloy-tuloy ang maging performance mo. And of course,
thank you so much.
We're all praying for your safety and your health. Mami, maraming salamat sa panahon binigay mo sa amin. And we wish you all the best. And tingnan natin, one big fight.
Thank you so much, Sir Nolly. It's an honor po. Thank you for having me. One big fight.
Juami Tiongson, mga kaibigan ng Terrafirma Dyip, of course, Player of the Week, at ngayon ay talaga namang pinapakita ang kanyang taglay na galing, and we certainly wish him all the best, including Terrafirma and the rest of the PBA. All right, when we come back from this break, well, ang ating pong i-feature, Bianca Bustamante, an up-and-coming Pinay sa mundo ng motor racing. Yan po sa pagbabalik ng Power and Play, hatid sa inyo ng Cherry Loom at ng Cherry Tigo.
Alex, are you ready to have some fun on your first driving lesson?
Welcome to the Gigalive. Your passions, your stories, your life, simplified with just one app. This is the future. The Gigalive in just one tap. Experience more Giga moments when you make a smart choice. With the Philippines' fastest mobile data network. How do I know it's T1? Simple, smart ako.
Ang Power and Play ay hatid sa inyo ng Cherry Loom, ang yerong may aluminum. Sa ganitong pabago-bago ang panahon mga kapatid, sobrang init tapos biglang uulan. Kailangan natin ng matibay at protektadong bubong. Dapat ang bubong ay yerong may aluminum. Kapag may aluminum, tsak na pangmatagalan. At isa lang ang alam kong dekalidad na yerong may aluminum. Yan ang Cherry Loom. Tibay protektado sa pangmatagalang yero. Cherry Loom, ang yerong may aluminum. Cherry Tigo, paano mo masasabing nakaka-enjoy i-drive ang sasakyan mo? Isa lang ang sagot ko dyan. Siyempre kapag ang minamaneho mo ay Cherry Tigo 7 Pro. Luxurious ang exteriors at comfort-filled naman ang interiors. Intelligent dahil meron itong automatic tailgate opening, engine start, at climate control na pwede mong makontrol using its smart key. Perfect pa pang long drive dahil meron itong large sunroof, HD touchscreen, wireless mobile charging, at 360 around view monitoring. Pro na pro ka with the Tigo 7 Pro dahil available na rin ito for as low as 88,000 pesos all in. Hanggang 120,000 din ang cash discounts exclusive ngayong September. Open pa for free test drives kaya i-schedule mo na ang appointment sa Cherry Dealer today. Cherry Tigo 7 Pro, fun to drive. Joyride, ang bago ninyong kasundo. Dahil ayaw naming nahihirapan ka, book Joyride Motorcycle Taxi now and experience hassle-free commute. And it's never too early to start getting ready for the holidays. Now's the right time to plan the perfect gifts for your loved ones to avoid the holiday rush. For all your delivery needs this coming holiday season, Joyride Super App is here. Now available in Metro Manila, Metro Cebu, Laguna, Baguio, and soon in Bulacan. So download the latest Joyride Super App now. Elms Resto Bar Group, home of fried eating, with branches at Elms Tapas and Winery, located in Calle Bistro, Commonwealth, Quezon City, and Elms Grill and Bar in Poblacion, Makati. You may call 0977-157-0499 or 0966-854-4048 or visit their FB and IG pages at Elms Resto Bar Group for reservations and inquiries. Skin, your face and body anti-aging center, with branches at Wilson Street, San Juan City, and Alabang Town Center, Muntinlupa City. For inquiries, please call 0917-890-1640 or 0977-809-8886. Presiderm, your most trusted skincare. Mga kaibigan, sa panahon ngayon, sa gitna ng pandemya, higit natin kailangan ang mga taong ating maaasahan. Mga lugar na makakapagbigay sa atin ng kaligtasan, mga bagay na ating kakapitan sa anumang oras. Yung sigurado, yung pwede nating tawaging most trusted. Parang Presiderm, your most trusted skincare. Asea Subic Beach Resort. Experience the getaway that you deserve and dive into limitless happenings, rejuvenating experiences, and gastronomic adventures. Asea Subic Beach Resort. Power and Play would also like to thank the Umami Bowl, your go-to for Japanese rice bowls, and Lick Hobby, weave by weave, hand in hand. Check out their IG pages. And Power and Play is powered by Smart. Live smart! Maraming salamat po sa lahat ng ating tagapagtaguyod ng Power and Play. Of course, gusto ko rin po nga palang, bago tayo magpatuloy, gusto ko lang pong makiramay sa isang kaibigan ko na pumanaw po the other day. Walang iba kundi si Attorney Jack Obieta. Again, ang aming pong pakikiramay sa pamilya ni Attorney Jack, aking pong klase at kaibigan mula sa Ateneo Law School. Our condolences to his family. I'd like also to greet on a happy note naman ang ating kaibigan si Dines Regner ng isang happy birthday. Mare, hope you have a good day. Sana nagustuhan mo yung pinadala namin. Ha? Alright, before we proceed, balikan muna natin ang ating mga kwento this week in sports history. September 5, 1960 o 61 years ago, lumaban at nanalo ng gold medal sa kanyang una at kaisa-isang Olympic finals match si Muhammad Ali o kilala pa noon bilang Cassius Clay. Tinalo ng nooy 18 na si Ali ang three-time European champion na si Ziggy Petrikovsky via unanimous decision sa light heavyweight division. Pagkatapos ng gold medal finish sa Roma, lumipat na sa pro boxing si Ali kung saan nanalo siya ng 56 matches sa loob ng 61 bouts, 37 via knockout. Muhammad Ali wins gold in the 1960 Rome Summer Olympics this week in sports history. Yan ang aking, one of my sports heroes growing up, Muhammad Ali. Talagang sa akin, the greatest of all time. Muhammad Ali. All right. Oh, by the way, yung po mga nag-aabang sa laro ni Alex Ayala, well, we have some sad news. After winning the first set sa kanyang semifinals doubles sa US Women's Open Juniors Championship, kasama ng kanyang Belgian partner na si Han van de Winkel, natalo po sa second and third sets to lose her semifinals match against Elena Kaliva and Reese Brandmeier ng Amerika. Siya po ay hindi po pinalad. They lost 7-5, 2-6, 7-10. But again, you know, it's been a terrific campaign for Alex in the US Women's Open. And again, hats off to her. At I'm sure this will only make her even better. And talking about young people getting better, ang ating pong susunod na panauhin is an up-and-coming Pinay who is now one of the premier racers of this country and now looking and knocking at the door of history in racing. At siya po ay makakasama natin ngayon. Walang iba kundi si Bianca Bustamante, kasama ng isa pang champion racer, ang kanyang manager, and of course a Le Mans winner, no other than Darryl O'Young. Good morning, Bianca and Darryl.
Good morning.
Hello.
There you go.
Nice to see you, Nelly.
Nice to see you, Darryl. Thank you so much, Bianca, for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Wonderful time to have you all. First of all, let me go very quickly to you, Bianca. You know, you're barely legal to drive. You probably only have a student license or something, and here you are. Not even. Can you imagine that? But here you are. You have been selected for the second edition of the 2021 FIA Girls on Track Rising Stars Scholarship Shootout. Now, let's begin with that. Tell us about this. What is this Girls on Track program, Bianca?
It's actually an initiative brought by the FIA Women in Motorsport and Ferrari Driver Academy. So it's this program that they built to help harness and hone the talents of female in the motorsport since there's rarely any drivers. And they started this program last year actually, and whoever wins gets to drive with Ferrari for a year.
Wow. And tell us how you got selected in this. I mean, was there a selection process? And how was that? How did that go? How did they arrive at your name?
Actually, the selection process was very tough. So every country has an ASN, and they would select or nominate a driver from their country and send their profile and their CV to the Women in Motorsport, and they would just nominate everyone, and it will come down to the 14 drivers that will fly to France. And I was very lucky to be selected. Out of everyone in Asia, I was so shocked that I was the only one that was even recognized.
Yeah, well, you're only one of 14 that was elected out of 70 that made the
Yeah.
list, and the only one from Asia. And certainly that is huge. Darryl, you are a champion racer. You've been there, and now you manage Bianca. First of all, how long have you been working with Bianca?
Actually, well, at first I met Bianca maybe 3 years ago, so around when she was about 12 years old or so. So she was actually she joined a scholarship kind of karting program, and I saw her drive, and I was like, oh wow! I took notice of her, just because of her raw speed. And actually, I just kept in touch with her on social media and things for a few years. And actually, recently, I just saw that she was kind of looking for. She was just driving and didn't seem like there was maybe a lot of opportunities, because it's a difficult sport to get into. First, there's so much to learn and so much to know. So Bianca I just started working with her and trying to help her make a way in the sport, because there's so much to learn and so much to go. And so we didn't expect so quickly that she would get selected for such a shootout. And I think she just has to drive her heart out, and hopefully they can see her talent, because there's a big scholarship on the other end of this if she can make it.
Darryl, when you first saw Bianca, what did you see in her? What kind of traits did you see in her that you believe that she could be successful in this particular track?
Well, it's funny enough, because the first thing that really caught me was kind of like just how much fun she had driving. She was having so much fun and laughing, and you can see from her smile, she just really enjoys racing and loves it. And then obviously just her pure speed on the track. And it's a sport. Motorsport is a sport where men and women are on an equal platform. There's not many sports where men can compete against women, in a competition. There's always, like, for example, like in tennis, there's men and there's women. In this sport, there's really like a direct competition, and the race car kind of is the equalizer. So now it comes down to their talent. So I think, Bianca has the opportunity to become one of the best drivers, and she has the work ethic behind her. She's working really hard. She was up this morning, probably at 5 a.m. running and all sorts of stuff. So I think she has the drive and to succeed, and that's kind of what I saw.
Absolutely, and that's amazing. Bianca, you started around when you were very young, 5 to 6 years old, and this is not a common sport for a Filipino, much less a Filipina girl. And as Darryl said, there are no divisions here between men and women. They all compete together. So tell us, why racing? What made you fall in love with the sport?
So many reasons, but I actually started driving a go-kart at the age of 3, because my dad was a former karter. So everything he was doing, I would just adapt it, and I took the initiative in myself to find a way to get into the sport, because I just fell in love with it. I would see my dad drive, and I was so proud. I even watched him win a lot of championships in America and here in Philippines as well. So after that, my dad just kind of saw how much passion I had for the sport, and he helped me to get into karting, and then he bought me a baby cart, and then I was just driving that till I reached the age of 6, which was the legal age to compete in karting. And after that, I just went on. I won surprisingly, even though I was very young and it was a lot of pressure, but it just started then. And then I went on competing international races, and I won in Macau and in China and Sepang, and I was actually shocked that I would excel so much in the sport because I just had the passion, but I didn't know that I would be able to drive that quickly.
Interesting because you started young. You took up the sport because of your dad, and obviously he was your idol. But what is it about racing? Is it about speed? Is it that feeling, that rush? What is it about that you like getting into that driver's seat?
I think it's how you feel when you sit in the cockpit in the middle. You feel like so much in control, and you're not actually in control. You know, you're going so fast, but you don't really know what's about to happen, and it's like it's an uncontrollable feeling of driving around. And also, of course, the speed is a huge factor, and but I think what actually pushed me to pursue it was the competition. I saw how competitive it was, and that even though I was a female, I was able to defeat a lot of outdrive a lot of other drivers, and that thinking kept me pushing and pushing, and then eventually I got to where I am now.
Darryl, it's interesting that Bianca's talking about her experiences as a young person, getting into, not that she's old, she's only 16 years old, so she's still young, but even earlier than that, she's already she's had a lot of experience. But you started as well when you were young. You were 9, you were very young, and you were a prominent racer. Let me read a little bit. You're a multiple championship winning driver. You won your first karting at the age of 9. And at 21, you were already a Formula Ford race winner in North America, and you are a GT Asia Series champion. So many awards, Darryl. So let me ask you, how taxing is it to be a driver, a motor car driver? How difficult is it? Just describe to us, especially for the many people who do not understand and have never experienced this.
Yeah, well, actually, funny enough, the biggest challenge is actually getting on the track because there's like other sports, like for example, if I wanted to play basketball, I take a basketball and I shoot. And I go practice every day. I can practice as much as I want. In racing, there's a lot of cost behind it. There's every time I go practice, I need to put tires. I need engine. I need fuel. I need oil. There's all sorts. I need mechanics. I need crew. It's really a big cost in racing, and that's why I admire actually Ray, Bianca's father, put a lot of effort to get her on the track. And I guess I went through these struggles as a driver. When I first entered racing, I found it really hard to kind of make my way. But luckily for myself, I studied marketing and I was really understood kind of sponsorships. So I had to go out there and find my own sponsorships. And I guess when I met Bianca, her story kind of resonated with me. I felt like I could, with my experience in the sport, I could really help her. I could really open some doors for her. So hopefully land some sponsors for her so that she has a chance to show her talent. That's the key.
Do you have to know a lot about cars and engines to be a race car driver, Darryl?
There's so much behind it. Yeah, you have to understand the engineering, the dynamics of the car. And this is where actually Bianca will have to learn a lot. Coming from karting to cars, she'll really start understanding aerodynamics, the chassis, the suspension. And this is all part of the education program. And this is why the FIA, Girls on Track program is so amazing because they're trying to diversify the sport by introducing motorsport to more women. This is the key, right? I mean, it's not because women cannot drive. It's just that there's millions of more men racing around the world. And that's why they're trying to get more women into the sport, more women driving, and giving them the education needed. And also not just drivers, but also engineers, mechanics. There's so many people across the sport, marketing, PR. There's so many people across the sport that can really work in this industry. So this is what the program is about, and it's created this opportunity for Bianca to go to France, drive her heart out, and see if she has the talent to enter the Ferrari Driving Academy, which would be absolutely amazing, because this gives her the scholarship to go do a season in F4 cars, which is exactly where she would learn the most.
All right. Bianca, Darryl is describing a sport that obviously is not only mentally taxing, but also physically taxing. How do you prepare daily for the grind? Do you do any conditioning, strength and conditioning workouts? Do you do cross training? What do you do, Bianca?
Like Darryl said, I usually wake up around 4 a.m. and then I go I sleep 7 p.m. pretty
my.
early. Yes, and I just go on for the morning a run, and then usually I'd reach the gym around 9 to 10 a.m. And then I just work out for half the day, and then go home study because I'm still a student. And after that, I just usually watch onboards to also prepare myself for whenever I do have a test. And right now we're organizing a simulator, and usually that's a very important equipment, especially for familiarizing with the tracks. And
I think we kind of lost
Oh.
a little bit. Yeah, we kind of lost a little bit, Bianca. We'll try to get her back in. Darryl, let me ask you, and yeah, just put this in proper perspective as we try to get back Bianca here. How big is this Girls on Track Rising Stars Scholarship program? How big is it, and how big is the feat of Bianca just getting into that list?
It's quite amazing because there's a lot of talented drivers around the world, and this is really a global shootout. There's drivers from Brazil, from South America. There's drivers from Europe. I think there's France and all across Europe. Firstly, yeah, I guess Asia is still developing. In motorsport, still developing. So she's really the only one selected from Asia, across Asia, and yeah, I think this is why it is a challenge. And of course, it's the Ferrari Driving Academy. This is where a place where that has developed drivers like Charles Leclerc, drivers. I don't have the full list of drivers, but there is really a huge pedigree of drivers that have come through the Ferrari Driving Academy. So for her to be have a chance to gain a seat in this in this area would be an absolute dream for her. And also, most importantly, the scholarship would give her a chance to then compete a full season against the top drivers. And this is the most important part, because she needs the education, she needs the opportunity to, there's no school to go racing. This is the school, the junior categories, competing, racing, and driving against everyone. That's where you learn.
It is actually a competition, and this is the first segment. What happens here? What happens here and in the succeeding segments, Darryl?
So it's really short. There's really like a short chance for Bianca to prove herself. There's basically the whole competition. Firstly, is 3 days. So there's 14 drivers, and from the 14 it goes down to 8 right from day one. So already 6 drivers will be through karting evaluation. They're driving. It goes down to 8 drivers. And from those 8 drivers, there's 2 days for them to prove themselves in karting and also in a Formula car. So they'll actually drive a F4 Formula car to show their speed and ability. And they also judge not just driving, but they also judge, her media, like how she presents herself, her fitness. They do a full evaluation. And so then basically that part is done in France. So from those 8, they'll select 4. And they'll select 4 drivers, and then they'll take 4 to Italy in November. And that's actually at Maranello at the Ferrari circuit, and then they will go from there. Evaluation of select a winner after a full training training and evaluation.
Bianca, Darryl has been describing just how big this particular competition is, and how important it is for your career. But in your case, how are you preparing for this competition, this first segment?
Honestly, like Dara said, I wake up 4 a.m. I hit the gym and stuff. But honestly, the main thing I'm working on is endurance and my muscle durability, because I know it'll be very tough, especially driving in Europe. The track there is different, the weather is different. So I'm sure there'll be a lot of grip. And on the body, the G-force and stuff, it takes a toll on the muscles. And so I just do my best to work out CrossFit, weightlifting, and endurance training. And I run a lot as well. But right now we're actually organizing to get a simulator, and that will help a lot, especially familiarizing with France, because I've never been to Europe and the track. So that's the key thing we're working on right now.
Well, we know that if you get through this and you come out of this, you will get a chance to be in the Ferrari Driving Academy, a driver's academy, and that certainly will catapult you into stardom. How confident are you, Bianca, that you can get through this?
Well, if there's anything that I've done ever since then was I've always thought to myself that because we're not as financially capable, racing is a very expensive sport. So every chance I had, I would just always do my best, make think that this could possibly be my last, and I don't want it to be my last. So I give it my best. I drive my heart out, and now I'm very confident that I will do very good because everything that I've done the past few years, I was hoping that would lead up to this, and
Mhm.
I'm sure that I have a lot of very good people and great teachers and coaches that will help me train and prepare now, so I can do give it my best in Europe.
Right. Well, before I let you go, we're running out of time here, Darryl, and I guess the question is begged is, how good is Bianca?
Yeah, Bianca is really talented, but we have to keep in mind there's talented drivers all around the world. So I mean, the scholarship is very important, and we'll try our best. And like Bianca said, she'll give it her all. But it's not the complete story. I mean, at the end of the day, we'll keep trying to get her to be racing a full season next year. That's the target. So regardless if there's a scholarship or if we get her in and race, that's the most important priority. Giving her a chance to race in Europe. So she definitely has the talent, but now she has to work hard and develop her talent so that she can really compete against the best drivers.
All right, and of course, Bianca, motor racing is something that's unfamiliar to many of us. Not only because there's so much traffic, you cannot imagine people driving fast in the Philippines, but also it's a very expensive sport. But again, do you think Filipinos can excel here and take this really as a sport?
I mean, there's a lot of Filipino drivers that have excelled here and even reached Formula Two and other GP races. And I'm sure that there will be more in the future, especially if we get motorsport known to more people, get it more exposed. Because I know that it's not a very mundane sport to everyone. So I do hope that I can employ other people to try it out and be an inspiration to other aspiring drivers.
Well, what is your final message to young people who are watching this now and trying to say, one day I want to be on that driver's seat as well, Bianca?
Well, it's always something I always say, but gender should never hindrance whatever you pursue. Gender, man, woman, if you build a passion and dedication and the discipline for anything, you're always bound to go to success. Just keep a head-on mentality, keep your head down, focus, do the work, put in the hours, and eventually you'll get there.
And step on the gas. Powerful
Step on the
message. Powerful message, Bianca. Darryl, thank you so much for joining us. Good luck in your competition, and we certainly hope that you get to your dreams. Maraming salamat.
Thank you po.
Thank you. Take care.
Yan po mga kaibigan, Darryl O'Young, the champion racer and of course manager of Bianca Bustamante, our bet dyan po sa tinatawag nilang Girls on Track ng FIA. Yan po ay competition to get to a scholarship sa Ferrari Drivers Academy, and she's the only Asian, one of 14 now going to compete in Europe. And so we wish her all the best. Yan nga tinatawag nating beginnings and new beginnings. Alright, bago pa tayo magpatuloy, syempre short break na naman tayo. And let's give you another of our pop culture viral videos sa ating Stop and Pop. Lengguwahe nga po sa internet, may tinatawag silang mapapasana all. Ito po susunod namin ipapakita ay tungkol sa isang, sana ganito rin tayo. No? Ito, papanoorin natin ito. Isang jam-packed coliseum sa Michigan na mas kilala sa tawag na The Big House sa pagpapatuloy ng college football doon. Tingnan naman ninyo yung crowd. Hindi lang po punong-puno, buhay na buhay, at hindi rin nagpapaawat sa pagkanta. Pakinggan natin, Eh talagang sana all. Dahil kailan kaya tayo makakakita ng ganito muli sa lagay ng ating pandemya. Sana nga ay marating natin itong panahon na to. Yan po ang ating stop and pop moment sa Power and Play. All right. And now, isa pa pong beginnings. Kanina nakita natin 16-year-old Bianca Bustamante trying to make her dreams come true sa motor racing. Ngayon naman, isa pang 16-year-old. Siya po ang ating pambato sa Olympic qualifiers ng Beijing Winter Olympics. Ang figure skater na si Sophia Frank sa isang panayam post namin sa Power and Play. And in the spotlight, Sophia Frank po ang aming interview. As we said, we're very honored to have with us our athlete that will be competing in the qualifiers to make it to the Beijing Winter Games, no other than Sophia Frank from Colorado Springs in Denver. Good day, Sophia. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
It's truly a pleasure to have you with us, and I know that you are very busy, so we really appreciate this time. First of all, Sophia, you are getting ready to compete this month for the qualifiers for the Beijing Winter Games, and this will be the Nebelhorn Trophy in Germany on September 22.
Yes.
How does it feel to finally get to this point? Was this part of the plan, the dream that you had when you were young, when you started?
Yeah, this has been the goal, ever since, I started competing, like competitively. And it's really exciting and surreal to, finally be getting to where I wanted to be since, I started skating.
You topped, to get to this point, you had to top a two-part assessment, which was both virtual and in person. Describe to us what you went through just to get to this point.
So I had to do a virtual competition for the Philippine Skating Union, and it was like a two-part, like stage thing. So I had to turn in like a virtual competition, and then I had to do like an actual live competition.
When you talk about a virtual competition, does that mean that you actually did a routine that you sent taped to the Philippines Skating Union?
Yes.
And how long was that? Were you in a big venue? Was that just in a room? How did you do that?
So basically, I just did it at my rink, and we got like 30 minutes of private ice, and then we like filmed it once and we turned it in.
Wow, one take.
Yes.
That's terrific. Was there even any kind of doubt or pressure doing that?
Well, I mean, not really. I've been competing for a long time, so competitions are pretty easy for me now, so I don't get super nervous.
How significant is this Nebelhorn Trophy, the qualifiers for the Olympics, for you in your career? I mean, how big is this for you?
I want to say it's pretty big. Like, this has been what I've been working for since I was little. So to be able to like finally go and show off is pretty exciting. So
talk to us about your preparations for this. It's been, we know that, the world is virtually stopped in many aspects because of the pandemic, but, you're lucky that at least back there in the US, many places are open, and you can go around, you do training, but talk to us about the way you prepared for this qualifiers.
So I'm just doing, my like everyday training, and I'm, doing a lot more than what I've usually am used to. And I'm just, running my programs a lot more, getting my stamina up, and just polishing and perfecting everything.
You mentioned in an interview that you wanted to be more artistic and consistent. Are these the areas that you're focusing on as you get closer and closer to the competition?
Yes, mostly. Just really working on making sure I can do my jumps, over and over and over again without, any mistakes, and, working on my artistry a lot. I do like off ice training for it as well. And yeah, it's a lot.
I saw in your bio how you have a complete team with you. Aside from your Olympic coach, Coach Tammy Gamble, you have a choreographer, you have a ballet coach, you have a fitness coach. How do you mesh these things together, and how are they helping you prepare?
So, my coaches and we have like a schedule that I follow. So I have, certain sessions that I have different coaches on. And it's been like that ever since I moved to Colorado. So, I've always had like a set schedule with everybody, and it's a lot of coaching. But I'm really glad to have them with me. They've been such a big help ever since, I moved here. So
And when it comes to mental coaching, mental health coaching, you know how big that was in the Olympics. We've seen that also with our own athletes here in the Philippines. Who is your biggest supporter in that sense?
probably my parents. They've been really supportive throughout this whole thing, and I owe everything to them. So yeah.
Well, you're going into the qualifiers as a 15-year-old, and obviously you will be going up against much older competitors, much older skaters, and who are probably more experienced than you. But what do you think gives you the edge going to Germany, Sophia?
Um, Probably just being able to show everybody what I'm capable of, and having no doubts about anything, and just going and being the best that I can be.
Well, that confidence certainly will go a long, long way, and we are very sure that it's going to work to our favor going to Germany. Sophia, Filipinos are. It's rare that I actually get to talk about figure skating in the Philippine setting. The closest thing that is that I'm connected to that is seeing our skating rinks in our malls before. And so this is a sport that not too many Filipinos are familiar with, but it certainly looks very hip and very cool. Tell us a little bit about that. When did you start skating, and why did you fall in love with figure skating?
So I started when I was about 3 years old,
Wow.
and yeah, and my parents took me to the ice rink when I was younger, and um, I just saw everybody, like all of the girls wearing really, really pretty dresses, and I immediately told my mom, I was like, I want to do this. Like they all look so pretty. So yeah.
So it started with the dresses, and
hmm
it ended with the routine. How did that transition come around? I mean, did you first wear the dress before you started wearing the skates, or was it the other way around?
I think I put on my skates before I started wearing dresses. Yeah.
And it became a love affair with the sport. Who was your first coach?
My very, very first coach, I think, her name was Natasha de Guzman, and I was with her for about 10 years.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And when you started doing that, what was the thing that made you attracted to the sport? What made you stick? It's not easy for a young girl to train and to fall in love with one particular thing that is not really very common, But obviously, there was something that got you attracted to ice skating.
I think it's when I started, landing more jumps, like the
Mm.
strive to, like improving every day and getting better and knowing that I can get better every day. And I think that's what really kept me going.
now this is you're a very competitive athlete. You have really started to move up, and now you are in the qualifiers. Uh, Tell us about the sacrifices that you've had to make as a young teenager, as a young child, as a growing up girl, just to make it to this kind of level of competition.
So, like before I moved here with my coach, Tammy Gamble, I used to have to, I was going to regular school also. So I used to
Hmm.
have to wake up at like 4 in the morning, and I would have to, like drive like every day to like an hour and or like 2 hours every morning to get to the rink to train with her. And I was doing that for about 2 years before I moved here,
Hmm.
and that's what like one of the biggest sacrifices I've had to make for skating, because it was super early, and then I'd also have to go to school as well, so
Hmm.
it was a lot.
What's the difference now being in Colorado Springs, Sophia?
um uh the difference, I would say, I don't have to wake up as early,
Hmm.
um but I think I'm doing much more training than I was doing in California,
Hmm.
so there's that part. But yeah, I think it's really just I don't have to wake up as early, which is really nice. So
Yeah, obviously, many young people would rather stay in and enjoy
yeah,
their sleep. But
yeah.
obviously, a lot of the athletes, your kind of athletes, really have to make those sacrifices. Figure skating looks so graceful, so coordinated. When if people ask you, how do you see a good potential good figure skater, ice skater? What do you think are the traits that are important for them to be good at what you do?
If you One thing that's really noticeable when somebody is talented is, I mean, they don't really have to be talented. I think it's mostly just, wanting to have, or like having the drive, and really like wanting it, and like working hard. Like even, like even if you're not good, having the work ethic and the drive to do the sport is really amazing. And
Hmm.
also, like, if they are talented, like having great technique, and like yeah, that's it basically.
Yeah, that's true, and I guess really sometimes it's really not everybody can get to that level. Maybe people can skate, but to get to that level where you are now is very rare. But of course, many Filipinos are, of course, excited about a Filipino participating in the Winter Olympics. We are a people that love to dance, hip hop dancers, to ballroom dancing. Filipinos are known as tremendous dancers. Do you think that figure skating, ice skating, is a sport that is fit for the Filipino, considering our love for arts and dancing, and of course our frame as Asians?
Definitely. I mean, it's for everybody if they want to do it, if I'm being quite honest. Like, you don't have to look a certain way, or act a certain way to do it. Like, as long as you love it, I just say, like, just do it.
And clearly it's becoming very popular now with you and Adrian Celestino, of course, and also Michael Martinez. Before, obviously there's now role model. There are role models that young people can look up to. Now, let me get to know you a little bit for the many viewers that are watching us now. As I said, you are very young. You're 15 years old, and you're competing already in the Olympic qualifier. But outside of the sport, many young people, of course, your age are busy in social media with their social life. What do you do, Sophia? Do you like going out? Are you a person that loves to go out? Are you a social media person? What do you love to do outside of training?
Well, the thing is, I don't really have time to do anything out of skating because I'm always super busy with it. But I do have social media, and
Hmm.
I don't use it like super often, but I try to post as much as I can. Um, I just like mostly hanging out with friends when I do have the time, and like going shopping or like going out to eat with them.
You are only two siblings, I believe. You have a sister?
I have 4 other siblings.
Oh, four other siblings. Are they all sporty? Are they all into skating or some kind of sport?
My younger sister actually skates, but my youngest brother does boxing, and then my 2 older
Wow.
brothers, they like basketball. So
Wow. And where do they get this from? I mean, I know your mom is a known and a very popular former beauty queen of the Philippines. Uh, but are they also sports people? Is your dad an athlete, or was he an athlete?
so my dad was actually a junior Olympic skier. So
Okay.
I think that's where like most of us get like our athleticism from. But I think we get our competitiveness from our mom. So
That's
yeah.
nice. That's nice. But Junior Olympic, that means that did he actually get to the level of the Olympics?
He definitely did. I think I'm pretty sure. But I think before that he like tore his ACL. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that explains it. The bond with skating, and of course the connections to the family. As I mentioned, your mom, Precious Tonko, is a former Binibining Pilipinas Maha. Uh, and let me ask you. You said that you get your competitiveness from her. How much influence have your parents had on your own skating career ever since you were young?
They've been a really big influence. Driving me to the rink every morning and just always being there like as a parent has really been like a big like a big thank you to them. Like they're amazing, like they're so cool.
I read somewhere that your mom takes care of your clothes. The clothes that you dreamt of when you were 3 years old and looking at your getting interested in the sport. Is that true?
Yes, she actually designs and stones them. So ever since I was little, she's always had a like been a big part of like my skating and like the dresses, of course. So yeah.
Is she also part of the music that you choose?
I mean, she has like a little input on it, but I mostly choose, like my coaches and I usually choose the music. So
All right, we'll talk about your music a little later, but describe the Frank household, the home, as being Pinoy. Do you have any Pinoy, practices that you do there, Filipino practices? Is it a Filipino home, or is it really more the American side?
I think we're more of like the American side when it comes to, being Filipina, but I do have my Lola here, so she cooks for us all the time. So that's like a small influence, I guess.
and what is your favorite dish, Sophia, from your Lola's cooking?
Probably her nilaga or
Yan po ang ating panayam kay Sofia Frank. Medyo naubusan tayo ng oras. But ang sagot niya doon sa kanyang favorite dish daw, nilaga at saka kare-kare. Talagang pampinoy na pampinoy. At ang kanyang sinabi, ang kanyang musika na gagamitin niya para sa kanyang Olympic qualifier, Last Dance. Sino ba yun? Donna Summer. Again, it's an influence of, I guess, the era ng kanyang mami, si Precious Tonko, dating Binibining Pilipinas ma. But again, what a sweet and lovely girl, and obviously so much hope and so much skill. Sana nga makapasok siya sa Beijing Winter Olympics sa susunod na taon. Yan po si Sofia Frank in the spotlight sa ating Power and Play. Alright, before we leave, meron na mga nagbigay ng kanilang kuro-kuro sa ating pinulsuhan ngayon. Ano ang posibleng dahilan? Bakit hindi nakasama si Eliza Valdez? Lahat po ng mga nagsabi, politika. Kasama na dyan si paring Nardi Madrasto, si Kenwood Cole, at si Ma'am Tan. Politika daw ang naging rason. Naku, sana iwasan natin yan. Iiwan na natin sa labas ng sports yung politika. Ngayon, political season. Pero sa pagbuo ng national team, sana po ay talent ang ating pairalin. Alright, that'll do it. Nais po namin magpasalamat sa lahat sa inyo na nakinig at na nanood ng Power and Play this week. Magsama-sama ulit tayo next week. Again, sa lahat po sa inyo, mag-ingat po kayo. Marami pa rin kaso. Stay safe. Minimum health standards. Laging mask, hugas ng kamay, at of course, social distancing. Mga kaibigan, lagi po natin sinasabi tuwing Sabado, bawal ang masungit. And of course, sa lahat po ng ating gawain, ad maiorem Dei gloriam, all for the greater glory of God. Kami po ang 1PH, teleservisyo para sa Pilipino. Happy Sports Weekend, mga kapatid. More power, more play.
Alex, are you ready to have some fun on your first driving lesson?